Damn it, I had a 19-minute one and found out my audio somehow was cut off. I had to reset my camera to get to work. These are all my opinions. What I believe, not all of my opinions, but it's what I believe. A little bit's my opinion. But a lot of it is what I've heard from someone who did their research, looked at all their codes, looked up what the 14th Amendment was actually created for, how they have us in two different jurisdictions with how they write the words like of the states and citizen. If you look in from the 14th Amendment and up, the word citizen below the 14th Amendment, before the 14th Amendment was created, the word citizen was with a capital C and the rest lowercase. Well, 14th Amendment was when they changed citizen, the first letter of the word citizen, to a lowercase, and it's all lowercase. Well, 14th Amendment was created to turn all black people into slaves of the United States Federal Corporation. This is what I believe, from what I've heard, and the research that he put on the screen to show all the evidence and factual proof. 14th Amendment turned them into slaves of the United States Federal Corporation. It gave the United States Federal Corporation ownership of them. That's why they created the Civil Rights Act in 1964, to give them rights, but under the enslavement and ownership of the United States Federal Corporation. So they're under the United States Federal Corporate U.S. Constitution. They're not under the Constitution of the United States of America. Everybody else that's not black, and no matter what race you are, everybody else is actually not under the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment was not created for you. And so, and before all of that, they had to create the the Social Security number. This is to put us under their control with the fiat money in 1913. This all enslaved all the rest of us. The 14th Amendment was created to enslave the blacks to the United States Federal Corporation, is what I believe. And then in 1913, they created the Social Security number to enslave everybody else and them further, but to enslave everybody else that's outside the 14th Amendment to the United States Federal Corporation, because they create the money. They don't create it. They allowed the ones that owns the Fed to create that money. But through the Fed, they own all of us. They control all of us. They own all of our property. We bought it with that money. We didn't buy it with gold and silver outside of that fiat money. So they own everything. Under the fiat money we spend. They own us, they own our property, because we use that money. So they own us. We can use gold and silver today. We actually can switch to gold and silver and use it. And we're going to have to start, I guess, going to court and stuff and having all these businesses start taking gold and silver as another form of money. And it's not taxed. They cannot place a tax upon gold and silver when you buy something. They can only tax the fiat money, the fake money. That's what they created it for, so they can create taxation. States in the Constitution, that even their Constitution, that gold and silver cannot be taxed. And so in order to be able to tax the people, they had to create fake fiat debt money. So everything you pay, and you go to court and they say, we need you to pay that, we'll accept that. Well, it's debt money. You're not really paying them any money. You're giving them debt money for a debt. So you're just enslaved. And you don't give them that, well, because you're using that and you're under all this other, we have jurisdiction over you. The 14th Amendment does not give the United States corporation control over everybody else that's not black. The other stuff does. You can send in your resignation to resign your, resignate, or to take yourself away from that Social Security number that enslaves you to them, and the all caps name. The all caps name is placed upon that Social Security number. And so when you say that's my number, and which it's not, you didn't create it and your parents didn't create it. They created it. It's theirs. They own it. So when you say, yes, that's my name, that's my Social Security number, well, then you just place that upon yourself. And so they own you. Because you didn't create that. They did. And then you said that's you, and that's yours. And so they own you, my belief. This is what I believe, or what all I'm hearing and seeing, the facts that are presented before me. It'll be the video, the link of the video will be in the description, and you can watch it. And this is a black man putting it out there. These black people are getting up, and they're learning their stuff. They're learning their codes. They're learning their statutes. They're learning why the 14th Amendment was created. They're learning about the manipulation of words, the all capital letters, how they're manipulating us, changing from the 13th Amendment and down. Citizen was capital C, and then the rest lowercase. 14th Amendment and up, citizen, the C in citizen, the first letter, is lowercase. That's for the slaves. The states, when you say the state of Texas, the state of Louisiana, that's all in capital letters. Well, you're put in a different jurisdiction. You're not in the regular jurisdiction under the Constitution of the United States of America, and it's the same thing with the word United States. There's two United States. There's the United States, that federal corporation, and they use all capital letters, and citizen with the C in lowercase. State, they'll use even in lowercase s, and then the rest lowercase. But they're putting them all in capital letters. That puts you in their jurisdiction. Well, the regular United States is just all of the territories, all the state territories. Texas the state, Louisiana the state, not the state of. That's normal. That's common law. That's commonwealth. And so they take you out of that and they place you under the all capital letters, United States. To have you in their jurisdiction so they can have ownership and control with their fiat money of you, your property, anything you buy with that money. They own it. That's why they can come and take you. They come and take your children. You get a marriage license. They can take your children. You got to get a marriage certificate. Then they can't take your children. You take yourself out of their control. When you get a marriage license, you're licensing your marriage into their possession. And then your kids that you have, that's their possession. Now, this is all my beliefs, what I believe. And so, you'll have to watch the video, because this guy, he just reads it and he explains it right and let you know and let you see the facts, the evidence that they created in their documents and their codes and their statutes, their court cases, which are opinions, but they call them law. So the court cases are law. So when he presents the laws of the court, the U.S. Supreme Courts, and he presents the codes that the people in the government or the federal corporation created. That's all facts of truth. You can't. It's not made up, because you can find all this stuff. And the Cornell Institute, or Cornell Law Institute, whatever it's called, but LII, I believe is how you say it. It's the Cornell LII. But yeah, you can look up all those codes and everything. He shows it, every bit of it. Yeah, he doesn't just show the phrases. He shows where all the numbers and titles with the numbers and all that other stuff, codes, articles. It's in their articles. Article 3 shows it in Black Law's Dictionary that defines or explains what that stuff means and how it works. Describes what a person is, a legal fiction under legalese. It's all fictitious. That whole system under color of law, legalese, is a fictitious system created outside the Constitution of the United States of America for the United States Federal Corporation. So they can do what they want to us. They can get away with murder. They can get away with hurting people, because under legalese, color of law, you're in a different jurisdiction. You challenge their jurisdiction. They don't like this. When they call you a resident of the state, you live in a residence. Well, they own you. You don't live in a residence. You're not a resident of the state. You don't work for them as an agent, employee, or officer with authority. That makes you a U.S. or a resident of the state. And it's the same thing with the United States government or a federal corporation. You have to be an agent, employee, an officer with authority, or a black person that was placed under the control and ownership of the United States Federal Corporation as a U.S. citizen. And this is my beliefs, what I believe, from what I've found out. I'm telling you, it's all coming out. It don't matter which side the black people chooses. Democrats, Republicans. Republicans knows all this. Republicans never fought to not have that 14th Amendment created. That's an involuntary enslavement amendment. The 14th Amendment, in my opinion, should be overturned. It should be eliminated. Or changed up. The 13th Amendment was created to where they could not turn anyone into slaves. It was the abolishment of slavery. And then they went and created the 14th Amendment and tricked everyone and enslaved the black people out against the 13th Amendment to give control and ownership of them to the United States Federal Corporation. This is what I believe. That United States Constitution is not our Constitution. That I'm going to have to look it up and read it. I'm going to look up the Constitution of the United States of America. I guarantee you, it's different. And if the 14th Amendment in that one states that then they were turned into slaves under the Constitution of the United States of America, and they carried that on to the United States Federal Corporate Constitution to keep them as slaves, but to a corporation. So, We need to be reading both the other one too, our original Constitution, the Constitution of the United States of America. That's our American Constitution. That U.S. Constitution is not our Constitution. It's theirs. They swear an oath to that Constitution. They don't swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States of America to protect it, to uphold it, protect it, and defend it. Not the Constitution of the United States of America. They do that for their Constitution, to protect themselves, the corporate, the personnel working in that corporation. So black people are enslaved to work for them. But then when the creation of the Social Security number and the all caps name gave them control and ownership of all of us. Everybody else that was outside the 14th Amendment. So we're all slaves. Slavery never ended. That's what I believe. Slavery never ended, according to what's written in their documents. The 13th Amendment's null and void because of the 14th Amendment, and then the creation of the Social Security and the all caps name, in my belief. So, yeah, video in the link, or link of the video in the description. Watch it. It's only 39 minutes and something. Watch it, and you'll find out the truth. This guy, he's got a lot of his stuff is like 2 hours, hour and a half to over 2 hours. But if you're really interested in learning the truth, watch them. I don't want to sit there and watch through all of it unless I really need to. But the more I'm gaining, the more I'm learning just from the shorter ones, because he'll repeat what he said in the longer ones and the shorter ones. You'll find out the truth, and you can easily get yourself out from under it. We got to detach ourselves from the Social Security number. When you do that, the all caps name is no longer attached to you. You're no longer a slave. You don't have to abide by their laws. This is what I believe. Once you take yourself away from that Social Security number, you're no longer under their control, under their authority. You're back under the Constitution of the United States of America. You're back to being under sovereign immunity from them. You're then a sovereign of a country. Right now, you are a citizen of a nation. Washington, D.C. is a nation state. It's not a country. And he shows you how Washington, D.C. is separated from all the other states. It's not one of the states. It's a nation state. It's a different jurisdiction. And they got you in that jurisdiction as a slave. You're not supposed to be voting in presidents. Only the black people in the 14th Amendment are to do that. They're the voters. They're allowed to vote as U.S. citizens. They were turned into U.S. citizens, so they're owned and controlled. They've been involuntarily, I can't say it right, involuntarily enslaved. And then they're given a Social Security number and all caps name that further enslaves them. That's why gun laws was created to keep them from having guns. Court case laws was created to keep them from having guns, because they were turned into slaves of the United States government. They're the only ones that they can touch. They're the only ones that they can control until this is brought out, wide open and dealt with. We all have to get together and deal with this. The United States Federal Corporation, in my opinion, in my belief, is racist. Because they created the 14th Amendment to enslave black people to them. They only made it illegal for me to enslave a black person. Unless I become a cop and then I can have you under slavery. I can force you under their slavery. And everybody else now, because of the creation of the Social Security number and all caps name, turns you into their, puts you in their jurisdiction. You're under their federal jurisdiction. He brings that up too. What is federal land? What is federal? What belongs to the federal corporation or whatever? So, you all take care. Bye.